for precision, nothing beats lasers. Now, the laser game, as far as etching and cutting, has always been a little cost prohibitive. Some of the more advanced units have been running $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Well, Glowforge is here to change that game. I'm speaking with Dan, who's going to explain what they brought to the show. Dan, what do you got?
Thanks so much for having me. This is a desktop laser, 12 by 20 cutting area, 40 or 45 watts available, but the real magic is that we put Wi-Fi in it, and we brought all the hard processing up to the cloud, which let us lower the costs down to under $2,000 for the basic model, and lets us add all sorts of crazy features, like the onboard camera can identify your MacBook, set the proper engrave settings, bring up a template so everything's centered perfectly. You can bring in materials that we provide. It'll scan them and pick up the an invisible barcode and set all the materials settings, or you can bring your own materials and save them. You can do things like, from your iPad, drag your design onto the material wherever you want it to be, hit print, and off it goes. You can even draw directly onto the material, and it'll engrave over the top of the ink and then cut out the perimeter so kids can make toys. We had an amazing illustrator who worked with Mayfair Games and helped us do a licensed Settlers of Catan set, which I can show you over here. And it's just beautiful. You can do anything from CAD all the way down to a doodle and make something amazing out of it.
That part is absolutely amazing. The ability to basically put a template over the top of the material that you're trying to engrave, and the laser will just follow. This reminds me a lot of where 3D printers were, say, 2-3 years ago, where they were still kind of jury-rigged. There weren't a lot of real good commercial units available, and they just kept coming down and down in price and up in quality. I think you're at the front of that. Now, tell me, what needs to happen for this to become the tool that every maker will have?
We're off to a good start. We opened pre-orders 2 days ago, and when I left the hotel this morning, we were at $2.2 million in pre-orders. So it was a good opener. And really, for us, it's so gratifying. We thought we knew that there was demand there, and to see people come out and say, yes, we want this, we need this, let's go make stuff together, nothing is more exciting about that. You know, I sometimes think it's almost as if the whole world didn't have kitchens and everybody was buying fast food. What is the world going to look like when you can make the things you want? You can make a shoulder bag, you can make a toy, you can make a dollhouse, you can make a drone, and you can print what you want, the way you want it, right there for less cost than you'd buy it online. That is what I'm excited about bringing out, and I'm really excited to be here at Maker Faire to show it to folks.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's say I've got one of these in my maker space. I want to engrave something. What are the steps that I would have to do? I mean, literally take me through what I'd have to do to engrave the laptop lid that I want to show the TWiT logo on.
So you have two choices. The first choice is you put it in, you open up the interface and you say scan. It will say, I see that you've got a MacBook Pro. Which template would you like to use, or would you like to use your own? You pick one and you hit print. That's option one. Option two, this is going to sound weird, you can write on your MacBook Pro with a Sharpie. Put it in there and say, go over the Sharpie with the laser. That's option two.
I love it. Now, this is fantastic technology. If they wanted to find out more about where they could pick up a Glowforge, find out maybe what's going on with the pre-orders, where can they go?
So for the next 28 days after Maker Faire, you can go to glowforge.com and get one of these for as little as $19.95 for the base unit. And I'll show you some of the things we made with the base unit. It's pretty incredible.
It's fantastic. I'm Father Robert Lazer. This has been Glowforge. And with this, you can see a bee.
See a bee.
I get it. I get it.
Cut a board.
Cut a board.
You got that? Yeah, that was clever, right?
Did you make that same joke there?
No.
Yeah, you would wait till after the interview.
The guy was just like, wait, what?
Why would you do that?
Now, well, I really like that machine. I love the fact that you could trace and then put something over the material and it will actually follow your trace.
Yeah, the MacBook example was pretty cool.
That's really cool. Or just like if you're one of these people who likes to put things down on draft. You just draft it out, put it down, have it cut. It actually cuts really, really quickly. You get your fast prototyping pieces immediately, and then once you kind of understand what you want with it, then you lay it down into a CAD program.
I like that idea. That was pretty nifty.
It's a cool device. Still a little pricey. I mean, $2,000 is way below what you would have to pay for a high-quality one. There's one on eBay right now that you can buy for $300. And I was thinking about it, but I mean, the build platform is tiny, and I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you have to do to it before it actually becomes usable. This is one of these devices where off the shelf, it works properly.
Right.
It has some great features built into it. I love the fact that they're moving a lot of the processing up to the cloud, which, it frees up me to not have to pay so much for every generation of machine. So I think Glowforge is on the right track.
Yeah, and I was impressed at all the different materials that you could use with it. And then I know that you were glancing at that quadcopter they built. There's a little drool there.
A twin Gatling gun quadcopter. Yeah. Rubber band.
Rubber band. Yeah.
Yeah, it will cut wood. It will cut acrylic. And if you prep aluminum right, it will cut aluminum. So the problem with aluminum is it's too reflective. So that's a 45-watt laser, but it will bounce most of the energy away. So you can put a substance on the aluminum or a film on the aluminum.
Makes it less reflective?
Well, it absorbs the heat. It's basically black. You're adding black to the top layer so that all the power of the laser is absorbed. It will cut through very thin sheets of aluminum. It's not like a laser CNC where you're going to cut half-an-inch steel.
Right.
But you'd be surprised how much utility you could get out of nice, strong plywood, which is what this really excels at.
Well, and then behind him and during the interview, too, was that, I guess it was a dollhouse or something, but you could see how intricate the design was, like how close the etching was.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about that a little bit later because we will be talking about fast prototyping, and one of the things to think about when you fast prototype are the tools that are available to you. Because right now, everyone is all about 3D printing.
Right.
Because 3D printing looks cool, the process looks cool, but there's a bunch of parallel developments. There's 3D printing, there's CNC, which is actually cutting negative space into solid materials.
Right.
There's things like laser etching, which we just saw with the Glowforge, which will allow us to make 2D parts that then fit together into a 3D matrix.
Right.
And all of these together allow us to change what we think is possible in our home labs.